Hey everyone! Today is the first in a mini-series of end-of-the-year videos for 2020. Today's will be all of the TV shows I watched in Good Omens. His fantasy series sees fussy angel Aziraphale and loose-living demon Crowley team up to form an unlikely duo. The two have become overly fond of life on Earth, and they are forced into forming an alliance in an attempt to stop the approaching Armageddon. I personally really enjoyed this series, a great performance from a star-studded cast, intricate plot and clever world building. A definite focus is on the characters, but I usually prefer character-driven stories anyway. I would recommend this one for fantasy or character-driven story fans. Afterlife. Afterlife is a British dark comedy drama streaming television series created, written, produced and directed by Ricky Gervais, who is also the star. It follows Tony, a man depressed by the death of his wife and fearless to ruin what he has left. I think this show was pretty good and we definitely see something new from Gervais. I liked some of the characters and the story was interesting, but nothing revolutionary. If you like British dramas and want some dark comedy, this is a great show for you, but I prefer something with a bigger scope usually. The Mandalorian. A lone gunfighter makes his way through the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. Basically a Star Wars western with an adorable baby. I loved this show, mostly because I love Star Wars but also because of the fun world building and interesting characters. We get to see more of the universe and get an intimate character story too. Must watch for Star Wars fans. Bojack Horseman. A humanoid horse, Bojack Horseman lost in a sea of self-loathing and booze decides it's time for a comeback. Once the star of a 90s sitcom, Bojack wants to regain his dignity. With the aid of a human sidekick and a feline ex-girlfriend who is his agent, he sets out to make it happen. A really unique show with a cool animation style and a lot of out-of-the-box episodes. I really appreciate the effort to try something new and I found it effective pretty much every time. Fun and light-hearted but also devastating and dark. It seems more aimed at Americans but I still enjoyed it and would recommend it. You is an American psychological thriller television series following a sociopathic bookseller stalking his crush. I liked this show but I do think it was weird and not for everyone. I wouldn't watch it again, but that's not to say I didn't enjoy it. I think the characters are mostly sympathetic and understandable, which can be a big problem when you're following someone like Joe. I wish the show had focused more on how bad his actions were sometimes instead of making him so sympathetic and fleshing out his backstory. I am interested to see where it goes though. Shameless. The American version. I plan on watching the British one after. Frank Gallagher is the head of a working-class family in Chicago. His 6 children suffer because he is a heavy drinker and Fiona, the eldest daughter, has to look after everyone in the house. I really enjoy aspects of this show. I think the earlier seasons were better and I'm not enjoying the new content quite as much, but focusing on this family for so many years makes you get to know them very well and gives a lot of room for development, which in most cases is done well. I recommend this show and hope the latter part of Season 9 and Season 10 are as good as earlier seasons in my opinion. Inside the world's toughest prisons. A journalist travels to different locations to explore the imprisonment process of various societies. An interesting documentary about life in prisons around the world. I enjoyed the show and thought they did a good job of showing an unbiased look at the different facilities, though of course, the presenters give their opinions. I think it's really interesting, but hard to watch at times. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Brothers Edward and Alphonse Elric search for the Philosopher's Stone, hoping to restore their bodies, which were lost when they attempted to use their alchemy skills to resurrect their deceased mother. The first anime I ever watched, if you don't count Avatar: The Last Airbender, I thought it was amazing. The character development and world building and plot are in my opinion the three pillars of a good story, and this one nails all three. It's one of those shows that got better instead of worse and rounded off well. I loved a lot of the unique concepts and the characters were very well realized. 100% recommend. Attack on Titan. When man-eating titans first appeared 100 years ago, humans found safety behind massive walls that stopped the giants in their tracks. But the safety they have had for so long is threatened when a colossal titan smashes through the barriers, causing a flood of the giants into what had been the humans' safe zone. I haven't finished this show as of writing the script, and I've actually taken a break because I wasn't enjoying it as much. This show has a really interesting and well-developed world building and a pretty good plot, but I don't connect to the characters too much and something about it just wasn't for me. I'm sure I'll finish it sometime, but for now, I'm going to have to say for me it was just okay. Parasite. Shinichi Izumi is a high school student who lives in a quiet Tokyo neighborhood with his parents. His life changes when worm-like creatures, called parasites, appear on Earth, bent on taking over the brains of human hosts. One such parasite tries to crawl into Shinichi's ear while he's sleeping one night, but his headphones block entry, so the creature who gets the name Migi burrows into Shinichi's arm instead, taking over control of his right hand. Shinichi and Migi eventually form a bond as they work together to survive their unique circumstances. I loved this show, really interesting circumstances to explore. We focus mostly on Shinichi and how his morals are different or similar to Migi's. I loved the relationship between characters in this show and the plot was really well done. I also liked the ending, though I wish it had happened a little differently. I 100% recommend this show. Since I'm making this video in November to be up in time for December, I might watch some shows after this that can't fit in the video. If that happens, I'll add them in a pinned comment along with my thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment your favorite TV show of the year. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see the books and films videos coming out later this month as well as all my other content. Bye.